Okay, one more session today. I got up to 2392 in the last session, so I really would like to break 2400 on stream. Let's play Caracan. They've done us very well. Last time we saw a fantasy variation, which okay, the advance. Really need to study this because the advance is probably White's best line. If you look at correspondence play, nothing scores as well as the advance. I think White is playing a little passively here because my bishop had time to get out of the chain. So now I have what I hope is an improved French. And if so, I still don't know where to put my pieces. Okay, Queen b6, keep them a little tied to b2, put a little more pressure on d4. Knight e7, maybe think about bishop g6, knight f5 sometimes. My bishop isn't great here. Jan Marco says the interesting talk about the three things that make a piece good, and one is activity, and the bishop here is of course inactive. Well, the bishop here is quite active. It controls a lot of squares. It's, out on the board, reasonably placed. But he also talks about stability, and the bishop often is really vulnerable to being chased. It's not a very stable bishop. And further, it's I wanted to play h6 anyway. I don't think this helped them. I'm going to threaten knight f5, making their bishop awkward. But you'll notice I got to play h6 for free, but I had to play h6 if I wanted to give my bishop a tuck-away square, somewhere stable. The bishop on f5 is active, but even the Caracan bishop getting active on f5 is not a stable bishop. Okay, now we got to trade for their good bishop, and this looks crushing to me because I get in on c2. Yeah, I think they missed this. I'm kind of pleased I saw it because I don't think it's a super obvious tactic. But, when people don't develop their pieces, there's always opportunities. If knight c3, I wish I could play bishop b4, but they just take the knight. But now, I'm going to get in bishop b4 anyway. And then queen a5, this looks like, nice move, okay. Let's force the trade of queens. They don't have time to decline because they have to pick up the knight. And bring in my rook. Get castled soon, keep the c-file. Great position. Let's keep c5 under control so their knight doesn't have a nice entry square. We'd actually predict knight e1 here, yeah. I think I'll just come back. Look to double on the c-file. No need to break through immediately, we're up in exchange. King d7 was also defensible because my king has to be centralized sometime soon. Probably should have played king d7. My bishop keeps their rook pinned in. I haven't been missing b5 opportunities. Let's play bishop g5 and look to play a rook c1 after. Just force off their rook. Actually, bishop c1, hit a3. No, they can play knight c2 there. Alright, let's get the rook active. Luckily my bishop's defended, or I, could not play such a way. I guess knight c5. The knight can't attack anything this turn. I'm going to start cleaning up pawns. c3 in the advanced Caracan like this just kind of gives black a free, French with the bishop out. And as I said, the bishop can be unstable here. It can also get in the way. I wanted to bring my knight to f5, and I had to retreat the bishop from there first. So it's not a perfect piece, but it does feel like a just improved French, where black's gotten rid of their problem piece, and white's best piece in the advanced French is clearly the bishop on d3, and I got to trade my bishop off for it. All right, we're 1 for 1. Let's play this very QGD classical. Just all classical moves. I think I'll take on c4 and play one of the knight c6 lines. Try to get quick play here. Maybe rook b8. Sort of threaten b5, because if they take, sometimes you can trap the queen. You can't here. Alright, knight d5 comes with tempo, so why not? Maybe bishop d7. Looking to play b5. My pieces feel a little passive, but these QGD structures are quite good. b5, knight b5. Can my knight move anywhere sneaky? Probably not. Knight a5, queen d3, knight b4. Am I doing anything? Probably not either. But if I can get a knight into c4, that seems useful, so I'm going to go for this. And look to play bishop c6 as well. Yeah, let's get that in now. Try to counter them on this diagonal. They don't have knight g5, which they sometimes have with sneaky threats on h7, because I got that square under control. I can take on a3. Any reason I shouldn't? I don't see it. I guess I'll take on c3 and then come back with knight. With the bishop. Maybe then come to d6 and have bishop e4 ideas. So let's throw in a6 first, just to make sure that pawn never falls. Okay, now they might be coming to e5. So I'm going to play bishop f6 to control that square, so on knight e5 I can just take it, because they're pinned. Queen d7, looking for d8. My bishop has no squares, so I feel a little loose doing this, but I do not see the problem. No, that doesn't make any sense. I need to move. Let's play b6. Give my bishop a retreat square. Maybe come back with the bishop and then start to reposition pieces. My bishop is a little loose at this moment, so I'd be worried about a tactical shot specifically here. But if they don't have one, I still like my position. I don't have c5. Maybe I can move my queen away and prepare c5. Now don't I have knight d6? Because normally they had e5 in response, but now I'm on c4. And that hits e4 now. So I think this position has come quite good. Right. Ooh, their point is, I take that, they have this pin. So I'll just sidestep. Where should I sidestep to? c8, rook c7, so let's come to e7. And maybe take the knight next turn. Knight c6, I'm not sure, but I'm going to take the knight now, given the opportunity. And my knight's been pretty stable, actually, on b5. Maybe queen b4 coming? Or maybe just look to swap everything on the d file. Now e4 looks a little weak, so I am going to play queen b4. My knight defends c7, so they don't have infiltration, and I'm just looking to play queen takes e4. Okay, they might get infiltration by taking on b5 and then c7. So I played c5 first. My queen is low on squares. I gotta keep an eye out on that. Yeah. Okay, gonna bring the knight to a better square. Threaten queen takes b3 maybe? I think so. Oh, do they have bishop takes d4 in response? Yes, they do. No, they don't. Because queen takes e3, bishop takes e3, rook takes d1 at the end. They undefended their rook, so this does not work for them. Yeah, alright, good calculation. Now, maybe swing my bishop to c6 and b5. Threatening bishop b5. And if their king moves, I have rook takes e2, king takes e2, bishop b5. That's cute. So I should be able to win this game even fairly low on time. Yeah, okay, they just resign. Okay, is that the second one of the session? I'm not sure. I think it must have been. Yeah, because we had the Caro-Kann. So I tried to play, a solid QGD type setup. Taking on c4 is the most popular move, queen c2. And here, alright, so knight c6 isn't a move. I do remember, I think I prepared something about it a while ago. Ah, queen d5 is the point, yeah. Queen d5 and either play the endgame or the queen swings over to the king side. Ah, I forgot this. It was a long time ago I prepared it. I ended up somehow, with this knight b4, knight c4 idea, not getting too bad a position. And then they made some weakening moves, yeah. And I think I handled it pretty well from there. So 2 for 2. Got a shot at that elusive 5 for 5. Ooh, tough opponent. Okay. e4. They're playing the Caro-Kann. Alright, we're going to play the advance. And we're going to play it a little better than the person played it against us. Immediately take on c5 when they don't have an easy recapture, and look to support with b4. Now I can't play bishop b5 because my pawn's pinned. I can't play c3, so I have to play b5 here, I think. And now I have to try to hold on to one of the pawns. Let's play bishop e3. Look to play a quick c4. Play bishop e2 so they don't have knight g4 annoying my bishop. Yeah. How to hold the pawn. Remember when I said I was going to play this opening better than we had seen it? That seems unlikely to be proven true at this point. Ooh. Okay, well now I can hold the pawn. I'm going to castle, look to play c4. My problem piece is I don't know what to do with b1 knight. I don't really get a5, I think. I guess my knight's really restricted, so let's play c4. Look to open a few lines up. Knight c3. Pressure on d5. Intending to take at this point, I think. I got this past b pawn. And potentially this a4 pawn's a little weak. Okay. cd5, queen c3, d6, with the idea of rook c1 if the bishop moves. They probably have rook d8 there. Rook c1. Ooh, I don't think it works. cd5, queen c3, d6. If their bishop moves, I'm good. So rook d8, rook c1. I think it might work. I don't see the punishment. I'm sure it just seems so unlikely it works, but I don't actually see the flaw, and I am now down a minute against a stronger player. So I think there is a reasonable argument for making a highly complicated move and hoping I outmaneuver in the complications. Generally against better players, complications are, things that randomize the result are favorable, while against weaker players, you want to keep the result straightforward. Some people take this to mean they have to play really complicated stuff versus weaker players. I don't think that's true. First of all, as said, you don't want complications against weaker. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying right now. I just got confused mid-sentence. My initial point, I think, was correct, but now I have completely lost what I was saying and should instead focus on the chess game. All right, let's try to make a trade. Probably wasn't a great way to do it. Yeah, this is getting worse for me. They're doing a nice job activating. My bishop has no good squares. They can take b5. Probably should. Then they're on, yeah. Alright. We have the two bishops, and they have everything else. If knight a3, I'll play rook d8 followed by bishop e6. They might have knight c2 at the end there, though. Didn't see this. Okay, that's a cute way to get rid of my bishops. My doubled pawns here probably aren't actually so bad, because it's on the side they have a majority. I'm not looking to push them. They're the one that needs to push somewhere to play for a win. So I don't feel too bad about the doubled pawns. I do feel bad about being down a pawn and a minute. This seems a difficult position to play against a good opponent. Trying to centralize my king. Maybe try to swing the bishop around to f8, where if I can ever sneak around with the rook, it will, make g7 look like a weakness. But bishop c5, maybe they just play something like rook c6. Still think I'm going to go for bishop c5. I think they should play rook c6. They didn't. I'm going to go to f8 and just say, what are you going to do about potentially rook c7? I guess the knight defends. Maybe the bishop will come back to b4 and protect my pawn. rook c7, hope to get in rook a7 if they ever move their rook. They're trying to get their rook active now. They can come to h3. That's certainly a point. I can never dislodge the knight on f5, so they have a very nice knight where I can never really attack their stuff. They should start pushing the h-pawn. Alright. I'm going to try to swing the rook back to where it could conceivably play some part of the defense. This allows rook a3 check, and I can resign. Okay. I blew the opening, and I'm curious where. We're 2 for 3. Oh, I'm supposed to play knight f3. Yeah, a5's a nice response. Okay. The reason I couldn't find a good move, I should play knight f3, and then when they take on c5, I then go for b4, bishop b2, eventual c4, bishop d3, knight bd2, normal moves. But I should defend the e5 pawn first. I was too eager to get in b4 and try to get this pawn chain, when in fact, in this moment, black has this quick a5. But if we play, say, knight f3 here, and black plays queen c7, now if we go b4, which I'm assuming is good, though the computer keeps hopping around, and apparently knight c3 is excellent. But if b4 now and then a5, I have this option of knight c3 to b5. That's specifically against the queen, though. But, if I've if I've somehow gotten in bishop b5, then b4 is much stabler against a5, and there are lots of positions where this a5 doesn't hit as hard. I am very jumbled this session, I'm sorry. 2.5 out of 3. Not bad. Trying to make points and getting completely flustered midway. Alright, let's play f4 against this opponent. See how they handle the mighty polar bear. We'll play it Henrik Danielson style. Look to play d3 and e4 if available. Alright, and against other moves, play a4 and knight a3. The pawn can be a useful wedge. The knight can sometimes come to c4, sometimes c2. The reason it can sometimes come to c4 is because I'm going to be looking to play e4. I'm now starting to prepare e4. Because if my knight moves, e4 is prepared. I don't really see a good knight move, so I'm going to play the somewhat more passive knight c2. Maybe come to h4. Maybe think about f5 sometimes, but also just prepare e4. Yeah, let's play f5. Pretend I have some kind of kingside initiative. If I can play e4 next, I think I'm fairly happy with my position. Not worried about them taking on a4. Ah, they think they can do stuff to my pawns. They could be right. I'm going to take on d5. If they take on d3, I have knight b4. Hitting their pawn and defending my own. Just got complicated. If any queen check, I have bishop e3. Yeah. Very quickly became quite complicated. I also might want to play knight c6 sometimes. Okay. So if bishop e4, probably rook e8. Start with fg6. Bishop e4, rook e8. It's a good point. It is a good point. Right. I'm going to remove some tension in the position. Okay, well, at least I got my bishop out. Doesn't help me defend anything or take on e4, so this could have been another clever move on their part. Quite possibly. I think my bishop on d4 looks like it has some prospects, though. Knight c6, if queen d5, I have knight e7. If knight d5, my knight looks pretty stranded. Ooh. So can I get away with knight c6, knight d5? Prob's not. Ooh, knight a2 is such a disaster. Can I sacrifice the piece in any useful way? Don't see it. Okay, knight c6, knight d5, bishop g7, king g7, knight d4. I don't lose the knight. I am super busted, but at least this gives some options for them to go wrong. Queen d5 is, of course, quite a silly move. Yeah, they just keep making active moves. Very strong. All right. Queen f2. We'll sort of pin the knight to f7. And threaten nothing. Just nothing. Yeah. Huh. Yes, take on f6. Don't see what else to do. Then play knight d4. Miserable position. They can even play e3. Because bishop d... Yeah, and surely this is good as well. Alright, 2 for 4. Oh, we did get over 2400 though. That's cool. Now we're under again. Alright. We probably won't get enough from this if we win to get over, but let's play another Caro-Kann because of the mubbing these. F3 is, of course, not a good move. We'll gain space in the center. I like bishop c5, make it just harder for them to develop, punish f3. They really want d4. Can I prevent it? If I could prevent it in a sneaky way, that would be nice, because I think they'd fall for it. But queen b6 looks simple and good. Threaten bishop f2 and control d4. How do they develop? Actually, b4, yeah, is interesting. Because bishop f2 and my bishop doesn't actually have squares. Let's keep it simple. They've now made weird extensions on both sides of the board. So as long as I don't do anything really self-destructive, I think their position is quite likely to face pressure. Do I want h5, h4? I'm going to keep it simple for now. I kind of like the idea of bishop f5 to d3. That just looks annoying for them to dislodge. I guess they have knight c1. But just like putting a little thing in their position, like Morphy did in the game against Paulson, that I'm going to make a video on at some point. Okay. I'm going to try to trade off the good bishop. I allowed knight b5. I probably should have taken on d4 first. Huh. Okay. Take on d4, play rook c8. Do I hang a7? Do I care? Might care. Huh. Alright. a6. Keep everything under control. I, of course, have not taken advantage of their very weak light squares at all. And that's fairly disappointing. Maybe I should have taken on g2 and played like some kind of rook e4, rook e8. That looks much better than what I did. Everything is better than the moves I am currently playing. What to do? I want to dislodge their queen. I feel their queen shouldn't be secure. I'm going to try this. And say, okay, now I have a file. They don't have a good way to contest it. Queen e7 probably coming. The goal was to create, some form of play in the position. Stopping knight g4, which would stop their rook f2. Maybe bishop coming to a7, controlling that f2 square is good. Because then I really start threatening rook e2 if they don't have rook f2 in response. Alright, so let's pester. Just curious where you go with the queen. I'm expecting c2. Not c2. So if I play rook e2, I just have to worry about the back rank mates. But if I don't get back rank mated, and this should just be mating, Because after rook takes, queen takes, they have to go to h1, and then I have queen f1 to g2. Or to g1. So, yeah. And if they move the king here, I take on d2, and I can stop mates on e8 or f8. So, this is a win. Probably should have, seen that it was a win before I made the move, but it was the obviously correct move. Alright, 4 for 5, finish at 23.99. I have a friend who, in his USCF playing, peaked at 1999, 1 point below expert, and then his next tournament, he would have gone over 2,000, but he thought he would be under, and ended up trying to win a game. He could have accepted a draw and would have finished over 2,000, lost the game, because he always got in time trouble, and ended up tumbling down to like 1940 and has not played chess since. Pretty brutal story. So, in his honor, 23.99 at the end of this video.